Coming to you from the United States of America, this is Political Analytical. I'm your host, Eddie Hill, along with Rick Warren and Gordon Park. Join us as we give our opinion on everything dealing with politics. We don't hold back, so prepare for a no-nonsense approach to the news. And no, we don't care about your feelings. Uncensored and no sugarcoating. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Political Analytical. I'm your host, Eddie Hill, along with D. Park and Rick Warren. Welcome, gentlemen. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you doing, babyface?
I'm doing good, Eddie. How's it going, buddy?
Going good, going good. Well, this is the first show on Political where I am clean shaven. Look at, see that? As smooth as a baby's butt.
Yeah, that's the connotation to babyface.
Yep. Danielle, babyface. You know, speaking of that, real quick, before we get into the topics tonight, I got carded today.
That's because you look like you're 12, bro.
I wish I felt like I was 12, not 1,200. Was being had.
Are you going for a hazmat testing or what's up, buddy?
Well, actually, I am going for a different job, and was told that I need to shave.
Ooh, is that the one we talked about?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So I had to make sure that I hit the razor and used it vigorously. Kristen is on. She goes, "Hi, boys." Danielle says, and Kristen says, "You look handsome." You see that, Gordon?
Yeah, but
even your wife's telling me.
The problem with that is y'all don't understand that she wears glasses that are like Coke bottles.
And Darren says, "Gentlemen, yeah, I wondered who was the young guy sitting in your spot, Eddie." Yeah, that's me with a makeover. So yeah, that's and cool. I was ragging. I was actually ragging James yesterday. Tell him that even compared to him, I was smooth. Because that was pretty good.
Yeah, that dude ain't got a hair on anything.
Yeah, he's a bald eagle. Bald eagle.
So real quick, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Supreme Court and what transpired between Texas, the Supreme Court, the 18 other states that was following behind the state of Texas on the suit, and what it means as far as the fact that the Supreme Court basically dropped Texas on its head and said they were not going to look at something as important as this because I don't know why. Honestly, it was within their jurisdiction to look at something like this, but they were saying something to the fact that because basically that Texas had no right been in there to interfere with another state's election to make it short and sweet. That's kind of where they were getting at. What's y'all's take on this?
What I heard, Eddie, was that they flat stated that Texas and any other state that joined them in this judiciary offer of Supreme Court ruling, they didn't have enough evidentiary facts to go on with the case, including the 3 appointments that Trump had that voted yes and the rest of them voted no, that there was not enough evidentiary facts for them to maintain or to go ahead with the lawsuit.
How can they even so much as even say something like that, Rick, when you're looking at thousands of depositions? And I mean, I mean, they've got so much proof. It's not even funny. People have gone of law with less evidence than what they have.
Yeah, I know. But you're looking at I think we're looking at a coup that has started and is at the very top, not only within our FBI agency, but also in our court system. And this has been going on for a long time. And we're looking at a coup right now that is being manifested before our own eyes right at this moment.
What's your take there, Gordon?
Well, Kristen keeps saying that the Supreme Court told them, hey, you screwed up your paperwork, file it this way, and then we can see it. But that's not the case. There's a lot of people out there, including this lady named Katie Kirkcaldy, who just does not have any facts behind what she's spreading. And I've said it once, I'll say it again, and just go on to say that, there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of conspiracy theories out there. And you just have to know what to look for and to know what is factual. The fact is that the Supreme Court dropped the lawsuit that Texas filed. I think it's bullshit. I think it's a double standard. And here's the example that I give. If the neighbors are having a party and they get too loud and I call the police, what right do I have to interfere with their party is what the Supreme Court is saying. But yet when the police come out and tell them to shut the fuck up, that's my right. So how is that any different than the states? How is it any different than one saying, hey, what you guys did over there is enough evidence here to show that there was fraud committed, and now you're fucking with the constituents in my state. So why do your rights and the rights of the people in your state carry over and impede on the rights of mine, of the people in my state? And the U.S. Supreme Court is saying,
you're making.
You know what? We don't care. And the guy, Alan Dembski.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He came out today and he's flat out told the press and told everybody, hey, don't count on the judicial system to do this. We're not going to get involved in it. Every lawsuit that comes through SCOTUS is going to be tossed. It's time for the country to move on. You lost, Trump. Enough. Accept the fact that they cheated and move on. That's the message that is being portrayed.
I really think Supreme Court made a huge, huge mistake by doing this. And they're going to cause so much bullshit that it's not even funny. I think it was total crap what they did. I think the fact that they turned their back, basically, I'm going to tell you as an American, I feel like back on us. I feel like because of the fact that they did not even look, didn't even look at the suit, their lack of interest in a matter this important is just total shit. Darren Wedlock says, yeah, if it stopped the election, these actions affected everybody. Yes, and it really did. And I honestly feel like the rest of us, we were all shit on. Kristen says, states that want to be heard has to follow the correct way to be heard.
Okay, so
We-
I'm going to go this route, and I want to make sure that I'm heard across all lines. The guy who wrote the suit for the state of Texas graduated cum laude from Harvard. Those guys don't fuck up.
No.
That's all I'm going to say.
And you know what else, Eddie? The very fact that we, as the American people, have been shit on basically by the Supreme Court by not listening or even wanting to hear. What the hell are they up there for then? We are the ones that hire them to represent us. They are the Supreme Court of the world, as it were. And they tell us that they don't want to hear one of the most evidentiary cases brought forth before them in the history of the United States. What the fuck is going on?
I'll tell you what, when I heard that, I was so pissed off. I mean, I literally couldn't sleep that night. I was just so freaking mad. And the Supreme Court turned their of this importance. I'm serious. I just feel that we were all shit on. I really do. And I feel they were shitting on us.
Yeah, there
Agreed.
were. But let me ask you a question, Eddie. Came out today that Mitt Romney, who's supposed to be the quintessential Republican, right? Everybody views him as, if Trump hadn't won, Cruz couldn't win, Mitt Romney would be our next pick to run, right? The
Okay.
something happened with him, and they seized some records and found out that he's been getting payoffs from Soros for the last 10 years.
Of course.
So we, as the peasants of the country, the guys who break sweat, blood, and tears to just barely make things work in most cases, we are inconsequential. We are expendable. Why should we care what the mold growing in the shower thinks? And that's how we're viewed.
As I stated before,
Now,
and I believe this. I believe this was everything.
going in. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
As I stated before, this is a coup. Nothing more, nothing less. We have seen the substantiality of their power. They've had 4 years, actually more than that, if you want to know the truth. They've had 12 years. And probably, really, if you want to know the truth, 16 to prepare themselves for this action. This was not an overnight sensation. This was not an overnight type of, oh, by the way, I want to bring this evidence and this is what we're going to do. This has been a pre-planned, this has been a very substantiated attack against us, the American people. And right now, there's not a damn thing we can do except what? Rebel.
That's it. That's all we can do.
I don't get it. I
And let's think
really,
about
really
it.
don't. And go ahead, Gordon.
Let's think about it for just a second. You have 70 million conservative Trump voters who are pissed off right now. How many cities have been burned? How many stores have been looted
Mm-hmm.
How much civil unrest have we caused? None. So the left, looking at all this, they know that the people that they already have on their side from the left, Antifa, BLM, those particular groups, they're going to be the ones that raise the hell, and nothing will be done to them. But they know, because we all are law-abiding citizens, we all have families and have our rights that we're thinking about. We all have the things that we hold near and dear to our hearts and don't want to lose, or even take a chance on losing by going and burning down a building, or attacking and raising arms against other people. We all, the left, the elitist left knows that we are going to hold ourselves back from acting the way that BLM and Antifa does, because we hold true to the way America should be. So they can get away with
I don't
doing
think
this.
longer, Gordon. You know, they've already had getting into it with BLM and Antifa just the other day. A big old riot out in the middle of the street. So I think people are already done. They're tired of it. And now, guess what? We got another group of Antifa bastards trying to set up camp. Guess where?
Portland.
Same freaking place before, there in Portland. Oh, I'm sorry, in Washington. It was in Washington.
I was going
I
to
mean,
say,
it's
Yeah.
Washington.
they're-
Yeah. And Kristen does make a point. The only cities that have been hurt were really the Democratic cities and states. But that's the point I'm trying to make. Danielle's right. It's because we do have more self-respect than that. But because we have that self-respect, we are getting walked on. It's because we're not willing to black an eye and to bloody a lip that we are getting walked on. So my question is how do you cook a frog?
Spreads the
Put it
leg.
in
How do
warm-
you cook a frog?
Spread
Yep.
it. Cut the tendons on his legs and make sure. Anyway, yeah. Mhm.
No, you put him in warm water and you slowly turn the heat up until he boils. That's how you cook a frog, because he'll never jump out. So how do you fix the Republican? How do you fix the conservatives? You put them in the water that they enjoy and you slowly turn up the heat till we're boiled and we're dead and we have nothing left.
You know what, guys? Today I took my granddaughter back. And as I sat there watching her play today, as I sat there last night and held her, I kept thinking over in my mind, if it has to come, let it come in my time. Because I don't want her raised in this kind of a world. If there's going to be bloodshed, I hope it comes during my time. Because I don't want her raised in that kind of world. But what kind of world do we have left if we don't stand up? If we don't take arms and if we don't defend ourselves?
I agree. And I think we need to defend it. We need to push and push back hard. I mean, this is just getting to be bullshit. And we're all getting screwed because of it. We're letting the most corrupt party ever run all over the United States of America. take it and from the inside out, no less,
Mm-hmm.
and basically trying to do away with the United States, if you ask my opinion.
But we've let it go on a long time. The Constitution was not set up for partisan politics. In fact, in the Constitution, it warned against partisan politics, called it the evil. And that wasn't in the Constitution. It was a conversation that was recorded between John Quincy Adams and another gentleman. It said true democracy is nothing more than mob rule. That's why we can't have a centralized government. We must let the states maintain their own governing. And that goes back to my hatred of Abraham Lincoln, but that's besides the point. True democracy is nothing more than mob rule, because you have two separate sides. You have one side who wants complete domination and dominating control, and you have another side who wants complete dominating and domination and control, but just at a different rate. And they start giving shit away. They start giving food away. They start giving housing away. They start doing public programs, public health.
I have to agree with you, Gordon. And history itself, it was written a long time ago. And this was something that was brought to my attention at an early age. There was a time when there were 38 Teton Sioux warriors hung at one time, and given by the order of Abraham Lincoln himself. This also fell in partisan of what he was calling, help me here, guys, I think it's called something dominant, or I can't think of it right now. But it was in part pushing the USA to be everything it could be, and it didn't matter who stood in the way. And again, we have this same type of party doing the same thing again, pushing what they want, and it doesn't matter who stands in the way. I don't want to be one of those guys that got hung again, okay? I don't want to be any of those guys that sat there and have to take one for the team that we couldn't do anything about. Because that in itself shows that we are not exactly ready for combat as it is, because they will come after us. I am surprised that our show is still going, Eddie. I'm surprised you have not got a letter or a phone call.
I am too. Yeah, I am too. I'm really surprised. They're starting to crack down on a lot of different shows right now, as a matter of fact, and a lot of them are being deleted. I know that lately we've been having a lot of trouble staying on air. You get dumped quite a bit, and I end up having to reconnect, and the show comes back on. But it's just it's making it very difficult to even keep a show going. Kristen says, I still think shit's going to hit the fan, and he's going to stay president. There are ships and military right now being stationed in major places. I would hope, I would like to think that that's a good point, but honestly, I just don't know anymore. There's so much shit, and it goes so deep that the corruption is mind blowing. I mean, it's really bad. Gordon?
It really is. And I think I am at the point to where I'm sorry, but it's time. It's time. If the other states lose in the Supreme Court, they refuse to hear the case, as pissed as I'll be, it's time to move on. It's time to stop looking for Trump to find a way to win, because he's not.
I agree.
And I think that we've got to focus on battening down the hatches. We've got to focus on securing and making sure that our families are protected and our friends are protected. But it's we all know what happened. There's not a question in my mind. There's not a question in any of our minds. What happened? However, it's going to be time for us to say, okay, we've beat this dead horse as far as we can beat it. It's not going to move no more. We got to move on.
Now, I want to take apart there, Gordon, and what I was trying to think about earlier was called eminent domain. Okay.
Yep.
I don't care how strong you think you are as far as a military unit and or a militia or anything else like that. We have a military and we have a governing body that can and will come into your house and into your business, and they will take it as part of eminent domain. And there's nothing, not a damn thing you can do about it.
No, you're right.
And you're right. Now, the way that the laws here in the U.S. have it, even down to the state laws, here the only people that can enter your property without a search warrant is Texas Game Warden. No other police, no other entity can enter your house, enter your place of business at all, unless invited, except for a game warden. Eddie, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. Game warden did a bit more power than the rest of us. Let's put it.
So with that being said,
and go
ahead, Eddie.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, with that being said, they're going to have to hire an ass load more game wardens to be able to pull that off. There's too much land down here.
Too much land and people, normal acres, and you even see their house. It's so far in the back.
Yeah.
So just even to get normally, it takes an invite for sure to be able to even get there.
Yep.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was asking Rick, is it the same? Does the game warden have the same amount of power there in Kansas?
Exactly. And I also want to talk about the last few years. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I know I have. I have military buddies that have talked about this. Let's talk about the trains that are going through the United States right now. Convoys going through the United States right now. FEMA camps being set up. Jurisdictional law from not only from the jurisdiction of the government themselves, but the authorization for the governor to go ahead and ensue these laws that they can do what they want, including up to seizing property. And this is already happening in Kansas as far as what they want to do and where they can go and everything else like that. If it is a jurisdictional advance for what they call national security.
Well, we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about whether Texas should succeed when we come back. Everybody stand by. We're going to play a quick little tune, and we'll be right back.
Awesome.
Hello and welcome back to Political Analytical. I'm your host, Eddie Hill, along with Rick Warren and Gordon Park. I'd like to welcome everybody back. We had to take a quick little break, get us a little bit of a drink, and get rehydrated. And I don't know about you, Rick, but I am freaking exhausted today.
I am a little bit. Yeah. I took care of a 16-month-old child.
Oh, wow.
I'm not as young as I used to be, I guess.
Oh my God, dude. I'll tell you what, I am totally exhausted. I'm so tired today. I've been busting my butt out there in the yard all day today on fencing and stuff, and it's just been nuts. Wow, Darren just wrote us a little bit of a book. Said, well, if the courts don't play ball, then it doesn't leave much options, does it? Personally, I would love to see military tribunals drag deep state asses out of power and restore the government to the way your founding fathers planned it to be. I wish, Darren. I truly, truly wish. I just don't see it happening.
Mm-mm.
I mean, the way things are right now, the corruptness that goes in to the deep state is just so... It doesn't end. It really doesn't. It goes and goes and goes. And no matter what we try, there's a plant, a spy, if you will, always on the other side, waiting to strike us down no matter what we try. And even with all the evidence of fraud and voter fraud, we still can't get anywhere. Why do you think, Rick?
I have to ask Eddie and Gordon, when did we become so naive? And when did we start actually believing that we still had everything under control? Our naivety, as far as that goes, starts way, way back, even with Richard Nixon and people like that, when we were starting to see a government that was exposed, a government and a party that was taken down. That should have been a warning shot across our bow that something wasn't copacetic in our town, so to speak. But we kept going on. We kept going on and we kept going on. And now here we are. We cannot say that we weren't told about it or shown, because we were. And we were so naive that we wanted to believe that whoever come up and promised us this and promised us that, that was what was going to happen, and that we could go ahead and keep on believing the American dream. Well, people, I'm telling you right now, the American dream has gone to hell. If Biden and Kamala Harris get in office, we are looking at the beginning of the end as far as what we know America as it used to be.
Very sad situation. Gordon, your thoughts?
I figured out after Bill Clinton got a blowjob in the White House and then got impeached, and then told basically the U.S. Senate, fuck off. I'm not leaving. That the illusion of power that the U.S. population had was just exactly that, an illusion.
Yep.
It's
all it is.
incredible. It really is. It's incredible. And I think all of this government is just an illusion. All this bullshit. You know, they're BLM, all bullshit. You know, but they're making tons of money. You know, and all of it's going to the Democratic Party. Antifa, terrorist organization. All them little bastards needs to get out and just get the shit beat out of them right on the spot. And honestly, you know, I'm getting to the point now where honestly, I don't give a shit anymore about these little fuckers. You know, you can only put up with so much before you have to draw a line. And you got to draw that line at some point.
William Barrett Travis drew a line. We saw what happened to his line.
Absolutely. Right there in 1911.
I'm ready. I hate to say this, but our illusion of freedom has clouded our vision. Our illusion of freedom here in the United States has blinded us to the exactly what they said they were going to do. And they told us, Eddie, Gordon, we will take over the United States without firing a shot.
A single
Do you
shot.
remember that speech? Do you remember that, Gordon?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When that was stated?
Oh,
That was a long time ago, but everybody was like, yeah, okay, what, you know, yeah.
it's
And
happened.
all at once, it's like, we wake up today, we wake up tomorrow, and wonder what the hell's what's going to happen to our government, what's going to happen to our state, what's going to happen to my buddies, what's going to happen to my friends, what's going to happen to my family.
Yeah. And Darren, if this was 200 years ago, yeah, there would have been shots fired by now. Yeah, I agree, Barbie. Absolutely. Yeah, shots would have been fired without a doubt. There's no way anybody would have been standing for this kind of bullshit.
No.
And we shouldn't be either. And to have the Supreme Court take a dump on every American and turn their back on the fact that we've had so much voter corruption, it's not even funny. Instead of throwing the book at all these people and actually filing charges and putting people in jail for this crap, they're just going to let it happen. It's just going to happen, and no one's going to do shit about it. Tomorrow, they're supposed to certify all the votes again. And nobody's stopping them. Court could have agreed to look at the case, but they didn't. So tomorrow, everything's going to go through, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. And then if those other two Democratic idiots get in there in Georgia,
we're done.
and that racist black,
We're done.
and that other idiot over there, yeah, we're finished. We're completely finished.
AOC went on record today to say that if the Democrats won Georgia, the first thing that's going to happen is a $15 an hour minimum wage.
Dude,
Does anybody
there's
understand
companies
what
out there
that's going to do to our
do that.
economy?
Companies, they cannot afford to pay that they will go under.
Well, it's more than that. You're going to start seeing 2 employees at McDonald's. That's it. All the orders are going to be taken by machines. The drinks are already filled by a freaking conveyor belt. You're just going to have somebody back there throwing that fake food into the warmers to warm it up and package it up, and that's going to be it. one person to hand it out.
And Darren,
Gordon?
this is one. Darren says, doesn't it only take 2 Republicans to object? It gets kicked back to the House.
What do you mean, 2 Republicans? No, you got to have a
Gotta have-
majority.
yeah.
You got to have a 2/3 majority. Otherwise, nothing would ever get done.
Gordon, Eddie, I'm 65 years old, okay? I remember when I started working and started paying income tax and started paying FICA and started paying federal and state income tax. Do you know what my living amount to go on every month is since I've been working since 18 years old and paid in, and I'm 65 now? Do you know what my living rate is? It's $1,550 a month.
What is it?
$1,550 a month. Now, I know I probably not the world's greatest mathematician, but if you look at the jobs and look at the pay and look at the time and hours that were spent on jobs, that doesn't come out to be the same math I've got as far as what I should be getting. And I know many, many, many people who are in the same boat, guys.
Well, let's just hope you live long enough to collect everything that you put into it.
Yeah, I know. Don't know if I will, but it's surprising. It is surprising exactly when I talk to people that's my age and younger, exactly what the reality of their disability and or their retirement is, because it it just doesn't add up, guys. Just like this election, it just doesn't add up. And we've taken it on the chin for far too long, guys. Far too long.
Oh, it's been a constant teabag. That's what it's been.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barbie says, I'm glad that I'm not.
I think you broke up a little bit.
have the democracy anymore. And Danielle says, if y'all have questions about Social Security strategies, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. So Danielle, apparently, if anybody has any questions about Social Security, please get a hold of her or get a hold of her on Facebook and talk to her about any issues or questions you may have. Go ahead, Gordon.
Hey, Eddie, I think a minute ago you said it was a tea bag.
Yeah, we've been
teabagging. Teabag.
Yeah. Rick said he was getting it across the chin. I think we were all just getting teabagged the whole time.
Nah, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
And Darren says, if I don't get my chance to go Bigfoot investigating in the U.S., I'm going to be happy, Kiwi.
I like
Amen,
that.
Darren. Yeah.
Oh my God, Darren, that was good. I love that, brother. I do.
Darren, there's plenty of places you could probably see a Sasquatch in my son's bedroom. He wears a 15. That's probably that's probably a good start point. Guys, I think about the politics that I grew up with and watched with Ronald Reagan and watched with Bush Sr. and watched with Clinton. And if you look at some of the radicalists from back in the late 80s, early 90s, it's a lot of the messages that a lot of the Republicans are saying now. I just don't. There's got to be an end game. And I haven't figured out what that end game is yet. Now, I'm not the smartest person in the world. And I have a pretty good idea of what the end game is. but I can't draw the line yet. I can't connect the dots. I'm missing a couple of dots. And I don't know where those dots are or where to look for them.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens this coming week. The way things are going, folks, I don't think we have anything great to look forward to. If something comes the blue and side swipes us or whatever, however you want to call it, and Trump jumps ahead and wins this thing, I want to be happy and floored because there's so much bad shit happening that the corruption is just, I don't know. I've lost hope in a lot of this. All I can do is just hope and pray that there's a turnaround that we don't see coming, and there's something more going on that we're not looking at or we're not privy to that's going to show its head in a positive way for us and not in an ugly way like we've been seeing. Wow. I am exhausted, gentlemen. I think we're going to do an early night tonight.
I think
my
so
brain
too.
is working.
I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about the fight. I'm tired of looking at the fight square in the face and seeing what has to be done. And knowing that I'm standing and America is standing at the base of a mountain that's the size of 2 Mount St. Helens and a Mount Kilimanjaro, and not knowing if I have the strength to carry it through.
I agree. I think we do rest our brains.
It's easier for me to sit back and say, fuck it. I'm going to watch my son's baseball game. I'm going to concentrate and focus on my wife, my son, the things that are important to me. And just see where we end up in 4 years.
Well, if they win these 2 seats, the Democrats win Georgia, we're going to be in the same, if not worse, place than what we're fixing to be in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Republicans will never hold office again if those 2 Democrats get in.
Nope.
Let's do some closing statements, and let's go ahead and get out of here and hit the hay before I pass out on this microphone. Start off with you, Gordon.
I want to address something that Danielle said is, unless they do away with our elections. If they decide to do away with our elections, then every world globe, every atlas, every world map is going to have to change, because it's not going to be the United States of America. It's going to be a collection of socialist states. That'll be that. The United States will be dead. And I think that we are looking at that with happening in the next 4 years, especially if the Republicans lose Florida or lose Georgia. I think we're looking at the obliteration of the United States. The dream that I grew up with, the hopes and the dreams that I grew up with, the hopes and the dreams that my son grew up with, and the dreams that he has for what he wants to do with his life, they'll be gone. Something that some elitist fuck took from him. Why? Because I don't have enough money? Because I can't do anything for that particular politician? But rest assured, there is always one thing that I can do for any politician in the world. I can choose to stay at home and not beat the fuck out of you. I can choose to stay at home and not do everything within my power to expose you as the fuck that you really are. I can choose to live a normal life. So, to any politician, anybody who's looking to screw me and my family over, know that you can try to take my choices from me, but I will always have one final choice.
Amen. Rick Warren.
Well, guys, in the last few years, we've seen the pussification of America get to the extent to where we don't know who a true American is as far as the generations before us. But right now, I want to know, and I do know, that there are men and women who will stand shoulder to shoulder with me. I do know that there are people out there in this world, I don't care what state you're from or where you're listening from, that will stand shoulder to shoulder with me, Eddie, and Gordon when it comes time to really put up a fight. And that's what I'm willing to do. And that's what I'm asking, that you look into your heart and see exactly where you stand when you say you are an American.
Amen. Now I got one thing to say here. We got problematic bitch on here that just commented, said Trump lost, get over it, snowflakes, cope stream. Well, first of all, problematic bitch, he didn't lose. This whole thing was stolen from him, and it's already been proven. The amount of crap that the retarded and stupid left and Democratic side, along with the freaking dumbass snowflakes from your end, did was fuck the American people out of an actual true election. That's what happened. He didn't win, or Biden didn't win legitimately. They fucked him out of that. So I'm sorry. It's not it's not a good win, and it's not a cry. And you want to talk about crying? You freaking moronic idiots cried for over 4 years since Trump took over. So I don't want to hear any of that stupid bullshit. And so y'all cry for 4 fucking years and then tell us that we need to just suck it up and take it when the election was stolen. I don't think so.
And if you need evidence of that,
cry baby little bitch asses, and go complain over there.
And if you need evidence, you need evidence of y'all crying. Look at that Miley Cyrus video. She was crying like a little bitch when Trump won. I think she was in her safe room.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So all you little Biden problematic little bullshit little bitches and thieving babies that can only win an election by fraud, you know, it's going to come back and bite you, believe me. So no worries. And statement. So fuck y'all. So there. You know who should have been here is James. He'd have loved to have jumped in on that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he would have, and
Yeah,
I guarantee you it would have been a lot more. It would have been
Interesting.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
Yeah, I agree. So anyway, I say we go crash out because we've been working hard on like these leftist pansy ass little
Pussies. Say it, Eddie. Pussies.
pussies, little fucking pussies know how to work and wants everything given to them. Maybe they'll have the America they want and they can live in poverty for the rest of their life, and just because they college tuition taken away and they don't have to work. But we'll see how that works out for them in the long run. So anyway, gentlemen, y'all take care. Everybody out there, we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the show and being out here with us. And we shall talk to you all again real soon. Stay safe, everybody.